In a tragic turn of events, 3 American troops have been killed in a drone attack in northeast Jordan near the Syrian border. The incident, which also left dozens injured, occurred at an installation known as Tower 22. This location is more than a mere geographical coordinate. Tower 22 is a strategic point of importance, used by troops involved in the Advise and Assist mission for Jordanian forces. Its proximity to the Syrian border makes it a crucial outpost in the region. Not too far from Tower 22 lies the U.S. military base at Al-Tanf in Syria. This base, nestled closely to the Jordanian border, plays a significant role in the American military presence in the region. Its location underscores the interconnectedness of these nations, and how a ripple in one can create waves in the others. President Joe Biden has pointed the finger at Iran-backed militias for this brutal attack, underscoring the escalating tensions in this volatile region. U.S. officials are now working diligently to identify the precise group responsible for this act of aggression. Yet, this is more than an isolated incident. It's a part of a larger narrative. Iranian-backed militias have been targeting American military installations in Iraq and Syria, a retaliation for U.S. support for Israel in the war in Gaza. This attack, therefore, is not just an act of violence, but a statement, a message written in fire and blood. This attack marks the first targeting American troops in Jordan during the Israel-Hamas war, and the first to result in the loss of American lives. President Joe Biden has pointed the finger at Iran-backed militias for this heinous act. This statement marks a significant turn of events in the Middle East, where tensions have been simmering for quite some time now. Iran-backed militias have long been a force to reckon with in the region. These groups, armed and funded by Iran, have been involved in numerous conflicts, including those in Iraq and Syria. Their influence and reach have grown over the years, making them a formidable presence in the region and a major concern for the United States. In the wake of this recent attack, these militias have begun evacuating their posts in East Syria. The fear of U.S. airstrikes has sent a ripple of apprehension through their ranks, signaling a shift in the dynamics of the region. This is a significant development as it indicates a potential escalation in the ongoing tensions. These militias have a history of targeting American military installations in Iraq and Syria. This is not a new development, but rather a continuation of their long-standing opposition to American presence in the region. The attack on the American base in Jordan, however, marks a departure from their usual targets and underscores their expanding scope of operations. The role of these militias in the region is complex and multifaceted. They are not only involved in direct confrontations with U.S. forces, but also play a crucial role in the broader geopolitical landscape. Their activities extend beyond the battlefield to include political maneuvering and influence operations. The precise group responsible for the attack remains unidentified. An umbrella group for Iran-backed factions claimed responsibility, but no faction has officially done so yet. This statement underscores the complexities surrounding these groups. Their interconnectedness and overlapping affiliations make it difficult to pinpoint responsibility for specific actions. This lack of clarity adds to the challenges facing U.S. policymakers as they seek to respond to this latest attack. In the wake of this deadly attack, U.S. President Joe Biden convened with the National Security Council. The Situation Room was abuzz as the team grappled with the sobering reality of the loss of 3 American lives, and the implications of this daring assault on the Jordan-Syria border. The president, known for his steady demeanor in the face of adversity, was resolute in his position. He promised a measured and calculated response, vowing to hold those responsible accountable for their actions. "We will not stand by while our troops are targeted," he stated, his words echoing across the hushed room. The message was clear: the United States would not be intimidated. But it wasn't just about retaliation. The gathering was also about strategizing, about formulating a response that would not only address the immediate issue at hand, but would also serve as a deterrent for future attacks. The council deliberated over several options, each carrying its own potential repercussions and rewards. The incident also spurred a wave of criticism from the Republican side of Congress. They called for a major reset of U.S. Middle East policy, criticizing the administration's approach as reactive rather than proactive. The incident was seen by many as a symptom of a larger issue, a sign that the current policy was insufficient in countering the rising tide of aggression in the region. As the meeting drew to a close, it was clear that the path forward was fraught with challenges. The United States was in a precarious position, balancing the need to protect its interests and its allies, while avoiding escalation that could lead to more conflict. President Biden has vowed to bring the perpetrators to justice, but the path forward remains uncertain. The stakes are high and the world watches with bated breath as the U.S. charts its course through these turbulent waters. The decisions made in the coming days will not only shape the immediate response to this attack, but could also define the trajectory of U.S. involvement in the Middle East for years to come. This incident not only leaves a mark on the U.S., but it also holds significant implications for the region. The Middle East, a region already fraught with tension and conflict, has been a key theater for Iran-backed militias. Syria and Iraq in particular have served as launch pads for these forces, including the notorious Hezbollah. These war-ravaged countries, scarred by years of civil unrest and political instability, have become fertile ground for the growth and expansion of such militias. In Syria, the Iran-backed fighters have established a significant presence, capitalizing on the vacuum left by the civil war. They have entrenched themselves in the eastern part of the country, taking advantage of the chaos and instability to strengthen their foothold. As we've seen recently, these groups have taken drastic measures, including attacking American troops, in retaliation for U.S. support for Israel in the ongoing conflict in Gaza. Similarly, in Iraq, Iranian-backed militias have been targeting American military installations, a stark reminder of the volatile situation in the region. The constant threat of these attacks has led to a perpetual state of high alert, further straining the already tense relationship between the U.S. and Iran. Turning our attention to Jordan, this country has been playing a more subtle yet significant role in the region. Jordan is suspected of launching airstrikes in Syria with an objective to disrupt drug smuggling operations. These alleged strikes showcase a proactive approach towards curbing the illicit activities that often fund these militias. The intertwined relationships and complex dynamics between these countries and the militias operating within their borders underline the intricate web of geopolitical interests at stake. The recent attack on the American base on the Jordan-Syria border, resulting in the tragic death of 3 U.S. soldiers, only serves to underscore the volatile and precarious situation in the region. The ripple effects of this attack are expected to reverberate across the region as tensions continue to escalate. As the dust settles on this tragic incident, the road ahead for the Middle East remains fraught with tension. The drone strike that claimed the lives of 3 American soldiers has not only caused a wave of sorrow, but has also stirred a hornet's nest of geopolitical implications. This incident could potentially reshape U.S. policy in the Middle East. The Biden administration, already grappling with the ongoing Israel-Hamas war, now faces another significant challenge. The attack has sparked a debate among policymakers about the best course of action. Some advocate for a major reset of U.S. Middle East policy, arguing for a more aggressive stance against Iran-backed militias. Others caution against such escalation, warning that it could lead to a broader conflict. The potential for escalation is particularly high in light of the ongoing Israel-Hamas war. The attack was the first targeting American troops in Jordan during this conflict. Iran-backed militias have been targeting American military installations in Iraq and Syria in retaliation for U.S. support for Israel. This has led to a tit-for-tat cycle of violence that threatens to further destabilize the region. The repercussions of the attack are not limited to the U.S. and Iran. The incident has also put neighboring countries on high alert. Jordan, already dealing with the fallout from airstrikes on drug smugglers in Syria, now finds itself in the crosshairs of a potential wider conflict. Syria and Iraq, long-standing launch pads for Iranian-backed forces, are also likely to feel the heat. The drone strike has added another layer of complexity to the already tense Middle East situation. It has underscored the precarious balance of power in the region and the high stakes involved. The incident serves as a stark reminder that the Middle East continues to be a powder keg, where a single spark can ignite a large-scale conflict. As the world watches on, the question remains, what will be the next chapter in this ongoing saga of conflict in the Middle East?